Good afternoon, or perhaps good evening, my friends. Do come in, settle yourself. You find me, as ever, here in my study, the world outside hushed by the steady, comforting patter of rain against the window pane and the gentle, rhythmic sighs of the fire in the grate. It is a setting I find conducive to contemplation, to the quiet pursuit of understanding that so often eludes us in the clamour of daily life. Today, I wish to share some thoughts on a particular habit that many of us, especially as we advance in years and acquire the wisdom that comes with experience, often find ourselves wrestling with. It is the persistent inclination, the almost automatic reflex, to explain ourselves to others, to justify our choices, our beliefs, our very being, even when, deep down, we sense it to be an unnecessary, even draining endeavour. Let us explore, through the lens of Stoic philosophy, why embracing a quiet dignity, why learning to stop explaining oneself, can be one of the most liberating acts of our later years. The Stoics, those ancient practitioners of inner calm and rational living, offer us profound insights into this very human tendency, and I believe their lessons resonate particularly deeply with those of us who have lived long enough to discern the true from the trivial. Our first lesson draws directly from the bedrock of Stoic thought, the dichotomy of control. The philosopher Epictetus famously taught that some things are within our power and others are not. Our opinions, our impulses, our desires, our aversions, these are within our control. But our body, our possessions, our reputation, and crucially the opinions of others, these are not. Think for a moment on the sheer futility of attempting to manage or dictate how another person perceives you. Their interpretations are, by their very nature, external to you. They are filtered through their own experiences, their own biases, their own particular lens of the world. When we exhaust ourselves in endless explanations, we are, in essence, trying to control something that lies firmly outside our sphere of influence. It is like attempting to halt the tide with a teacup. The Stoic wisdom encourages us to recognize this boundary and, having recognized it, to release the burden of attempting to cross it, to focus our energy on what is within our power, our own character, our own intentions, our own responses, and to allow the externals, including the judgments of others, to remain precisely where they belong, outside our immediate concern. What peace, what liberation resides in that understanding? Secondly, let us consider the Stoic emphasis on inner virtue and self-sufficiency. The Stoics held that our true worth, our ultimate good, resides not in external accolades or popular favour, but in our character, in our adherence to reason and virtue. Wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance, these are the hallmarks of a life well lived, according to Stoic teaching. If our actions are guided by these internal principles, if we act with integrity and in accordance with what we believe to be right, then what further explanation is truly necessary? Constantly feeling the need to explain ourselves can often betray a reliance on external validation. It suggests that our sense of self, our conviction in our own choices, is perhaps too dependent on the approval or understanding of others. But true self-sufficiency, what the Stoics called autarkeia, means that our internal compass is sufficient. We need not await the applause of the crowd, nor fear their whispers. Our actions, if they spring from a place of considered virtue, speak for themselves. This isn't to say we become arrogant or dismissive, but rather that our inner conviction becomes our primary guide, allowing us to rest secure in the knowledge that we have acted honourably, irrespective of external commentary. Finally, we arrive at the impermanence of external judgments and the futility of endless persuasion. Life teaches us, often repeatedly, that people's opinions are frequently fleeting, often ill-informed, and sometimes even capricious. What seems critically important to explain today might be forgotten by the same person tomorrow, or indeed might shift entirely based on new information or a change in their own perspective. To invest significant emotional and intellectual energy into meticulously correcting every misunderstanding, into painstakingly justifying every nuance of our existence is to embark upon a Sisyphean task. It is an endless and ultimately exhausting endeavour. Moreover, there is a harsh yet honest truth to consider. Those who are genuinely determined to misunderstand you, or who are operating from a place of envy or malice, will rarely be swayed by even the most eloquent of explanations. And, conversely, those who truly care for you, who trust your character and respect your judgment, often require far fewer words. They understand, or they are willing to grant you the benefit of the doubt, simply because of who you are. The wisdom lies in discerning when an explanation is truly necessary for clarity or reconciliation within a cherished relationship, and when it is merely a draining attempt to appease an unappeasable external world. Often, the silent pursuit of one's chosen path, with grace and steadfastness, is the most profound explanation of all. As we journey through our later years, the luxury of time often affords us the opportunity to prune away the inessential, to shed the burdens that no longer serve us. And amongst these burdens, this insistent need to explain and justify can be one of the heaviest. To release it, to embrace a quiet confidence in one's own well-considered path, is to reclaim a significant measure of personal sovereignty and inner peace. It is to live with a dignified economy of words, allowing our character and actions to be the most authentic testament to who we are. Now, as the rain continues its steady rhythm and the fire offers its gentle warmth, I invite you to remain here with me for a little while longer. There is no need for conversation, no expectation of dialogue. Simply allow yourself to settle into this quiet space, to let these thoughts gently unfold, and to perhaps consider, in your own time and in your own way, what explanations you might finally choose to lay down. Let the ambience of this quiet afternoon, the steady rain and the comforting crackle of the hearth, accompany your reflections.